Alright, the sun's coming out a little. I guess we could call this part 2 of July 24th, 2012. You know, when I wake up every morning, the only time I get any peace from anything is when I sleep. And when I wake up, my thoughts are flooded with what this city has done. I've heard every different type of philosophy and suggestion of solution, like, oh, you have a victim mentality. And I look at a person who says that and I go, no, I don't have a victim mentality. You have a problem. You're living in a society that causes torture. So you create the victims. I don't have a victim mentality. I am a victim because there are, what's the word? There are desensitized people in the world. There are lack of any kind of real, sincere, compassionate educational capabilities. Educational in memory, okay? You have, everybody saying something on television. Oh, my heart goes out to those people in Colorado. And I'm laughing because look how many times it's happened. Let's go back all the way to the 70s when we talk about the terrorists in other countries, and I've talked about, children, your tax dollars killing children overseas, and no wonder you've created the terrorism. But let's go back and talk about real terrorism, domestic terrorism. Okay. In the 1970s, I remember reading a lot of newspaper accounts. You know why? About poisoning people. You know why seals now are on milk? And this is for young people that don't know this. Why seals now are placed on medicine, drugstores, milk, pop bottles. You know why all that has been done? A lot of you, the news media doesn't ever do stories like this. How long has this been going on, really? Well, let's go back to the 1970s. A lady puts pins and needles and razor blades in Halloween candy. That was in the papers. A woman dies, or a man dies, or people die from taking a simple Tylenol tablet. And what people were doing back then is they'd go into these drugstores and food places, and these were people that had a gripe. Just like maybe this guy in Colorado may or may not have had a gripe, or had a break, or maybe he had a legitimate reason. Maybe he finally figured out in his intelligent brain, because the guy is obviously intelligent, that, you know what, you people are nothing but screw-ups. All you do is pay taxes, go see movies about violence, then take your In God We Trust dollars, 75% of it goes to the military, and you kill innocent men, women, and children in other countries. Have you seen the pictures of those children? It's worse than what it was here in Colorado. You see parts, arms, legs, dismembered. You see all kinds of crap. And the Palestinians and the Israelis been fighting for thousands of years. Now they blow themselves up. For all we know, the parts are used of the dead people, quickly put in ice, and they're sold. The heart is sold. The kidneys are sold. Since the person's blown up, who cares? There might be something to that. But here we are talking about, this kid who sits there, 24-year-old, when he finally figures out, these people don't deserve to live. What he doesn't know is that you don't have to do that. Other people will do it who are crazier. But maybe he just doesn't want to live anymore. Maybe he's finally figured out the same thing I've figured out. It isn't worth living in a world full of hypocrites, where people who spend and pay by remote control vote the officials into office that sign the military executive orders to bomb places, kill the children, and men, women, and children. And even some babies will never even get a chance to be born over there because the pregnant woman is blown up by friendly fire and by other forces over there. While America plays the hero, goes over there and with our military forces, and we've got to put this man Saddam Hussein down. Well, who gave Saddam Hussein all those weapons and military stuff? And who did that? You know, what this really boils down to is a bunch of nutcases in control with so many inconsistencies and contradictions. And, of course, since they have the power and the handcuffs and the handguns and they have the authority, there's very little that the people can do about it. So they live their life out just the way they do day by day. And a lot of the frustration comes out in, maybe even the ISIL fanatics have all kinds of frustrations. They're the victim. They're the ones with victim mentality because they create the victims. They create themselves as a victim, thinking that, oh, if I don't call on that, the neighborhood prices will go to the junk, and my price in my house will fall. Remember my other video said, I'm glad you people are losing your homes from foreclosure. Why? Because look what you did to me. Over this ISIL fanaticism, instead of helping your neighbor that you may not like what they're doing, you would rather call on them and use the city as an attack dog. And the city officials, of course, adding to the fuel of anger and frustration because the city officials come and they apply their law and we're going to do this no matter what. We don't care how it affects you. Even dragging people into court over it. Very, very sick. So where is this all going? Well, for Caesar, it's going nowhere. I just keep doing my videos and nobody contacts me. Nobody says, hey, you know, I know somebody who has a lot of money. I've talked to them. This is wrong. A person like you should not have to live the rest of his life out with absolutely nothing, where all my guitars, my cars, my boats, my motorhomes, everything that was precious to me is now gone. My plans to build this place is destroyed. With me sitting on concrete outside of Starbucks, looking like a homeless person, making these tapes that nobody really cares about or listens to. I don't have millions of views. I got a lot of views right away in the Colorado shooting only because I placed the title as the Colorado shooting, The Truth. And I am speaking not just about the Colorado shooting, but about the past as well. So all these people were putting these poisons and stuff in bottles and stuff, and enough people died that something was going to be done about it. So now security seals are on everything to guard you from getting sick or dying. Well, that didn't work so well because how many scares have we had from E. coli bacteria contamination, eating food that's contaminated with E. coli? Parsley, spinach, strawberries once in Southern California down here. A bunch of kids ate a bunch of... And so here we are with, again, poisons. Oh, but that's NAFTA's fault. That's trading with other countries who don't have the strict... And here's where strict rules belong. Strict rules as far as farming and harvesting food and the correct way to do it and the incorrect way of doing it. In one case, they were letting cows graze in an area where these foods were being collected, and that's what caused the E. coli infection there. And then there's your meat, your meat program. The dozens and dozens of E. coli contaminations and people who got sick, and some died. And then, of course, there's the whole list of other things that I could go into, but what for? So, I don't have lots of friends. Matter of fact, I don't really have. I have maybe less than 5 people that I know that I ever communicate with, and some of them are having mental problems as well. And that's it. You know, they try to help out as best as they can, but they can only go so far. There are conditional strings attached to every person that I know that supposedly, that tries to help when I'm in a, bad situation. As you can see, the sun finally came out. I got to take that truck back by 3 or 4 o'clock. Then I'll have to move the rest of the stuff out of that 110 by 30 with a hand cart, all by hand. And that'll take me another 5 days of working every day, only to have to move it again out of the storage that I'm going to because I don't have enough money. And it isn't the storage of the stuff anymore. It's that I guess I kind of predicted it myself. I knew that I was being attacked, and I knew that I could see the writing on the wall that no one was going to care ever. So I will either die from some illness, maybe a busted appendix, because I found blood in my stools, and sometimes I cough up blood, and it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. So all of everything I've learned, every bit of intelligence, every bit of research value that I have will die with me. And I hate this country. There's nothing I like about this country. I hate every square inch of it. There's nothing I will ever like. There's no common ground between me and any authority figures or the people of the United States, who are just as evil as the person that they're trying right now for the killing in the Colorado shooting. How do I make sense of that? Common sense, logic. You people pay taxes. You kill innocent people in other countries through your tax dollars. You elect those people into office as well. That's a double whammy. Those of you that are Christian, you commit blasphemy because you use the money with God's name printed on it. So that's a triple whammy. And you want me to go on, I can go on. But I don't have to. You sit and ask to be a juror on a trial against a murderer, but you yourselves are murderers. Every last one of you have killed. You go find the top secret pictures that the military has kept secret from you from Vietnam, Panama, Iraq, Afghanistan. You find the top secret pictures of every friendly fire incident, and you will sit there as a citizen on that jury and be absolutely 100% guilty of killing those people. Is there an alternative? Oh, hell yes. That's why I'm a presidential candidate. Yeah, there's a hell of a whopper of an alternative that could have been done starting in 1972. But instead of being listened to back then, both me and my older twin, instead of being listened to back then, no. We were totally ignored. We were harassed. We were persecuted in one way or another. We worked hard, harder than anybody else has ever worked, to compile all of that secondhand stuff so that we could move to Colorado, over there near Salida, near the Mishank Lakes, and build our place. And you trapped me here. Your city of Los Angeles. You're evil, crap-sucking people, because that's what you are. You're crap-sucking people. You're no better than the flies that fly around crap, because you are guilty of killing people. Yet you're going to sit on a jury and judge this kid here for killing a bunch of people in Colorado. You're going to judge every murderer that has ever done anything, or any criminal, while you are all the murderers as well. Sorry, that doesn't work. I'm sure if there really was a God, God would condemn every last one of you, especially those that are here in America, for the evils that you perpetrate and continue to do every day of your life. And I don't care if you're a preacher or a priest, you're not holy. You're just as guilty as everybody else. If every church rose up and said, we're going to tell all of our flock, all of our people that come to us, that pray in our churches, to stop paying taxes, stop doing all of that, bring this nation to its knees, then I'd say that church means something. That church is valuable. That church is actually walking its talk. It's actually mirroring what God would do. But there is no God, because there are no people to make God happen. You have to make God happen. You can't think that it's going to just appear somewhere. It's up to you. Kennedy said it once. He said it at the end of the speech. It's 16 minutes right now. At the end of it, and in his 1960 inaugural speech, he said, we can be sure that in this world, God's work must truly be our own. And that's where I've got you. That's where Kennedy had you. God's work cannot be done when you're a hypocrite, when you are doing blasphemy, when you are hurting people, whether it's by remote control or by voting. You're the one that's doing the damage. So you don't have any rights. You don't have any rights to talk or argue or condemn me or put me down for any of the stuff I think, because I think correctly. I think with vision. I think correctly in judging every last one of you, because look what you've done to me.